Good morning. My name is Matthew Banky. I'm the Adult and Teen Reference Librarian at Kokomo-Howard Public Library. Today I'm going to give an introduction to FamilySearch.org. Family Search is a global nonprofit organization based out of Salt Lake City, Utah. It was founded and has been continuously operated by the Mormon Church since 1894. Family Search first went online as a website in 1999. Millions of records are included on the site, as well as over 1 billion people on their global family tree. Over the last 20 years, the website has gone through considerable changes, including the rollout of its research wiki in 2008, which replaced the long published, long trusted print publication Research Outlines. Understanding how to use Family Search is of great importance since it's a highly valuable genealogical tool that has so much to offer, but it's misunderstood by a lot of genealogists, and as a result, it's vastly underused. So today, I'm going to talk about a few things. I'm going to talk about how to create an account, how to use Family Search's family tree, the catalog, and last but not least, the research wiki. So to begin with, creating an account. If you want to access records, you want to look at the family tree, look at any sources on the family tree, you'll need to create an account. So I'm going to enter my information here, enter my birth year, and enter my gender, and then whether or not I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I am not, so I am not going to mark that. So I hit continue. Then I simply need to create a username, create a password. I confirm my password, and then I have to select a recovery option. So I either use my mobile device or an email address. If I use my mobile device, no worries. Family Search doesn't do anything with it. It's just a recovery option. And then I'll select my country. And then I just need to agree to their terms of service. And voila, you have an account. Now you can look at records. You can also basically utilize anything on the family tree. So here I'm going to switch my screen really quick. And I'll just be a moment here. So now I am on my account. So here's my account. And I'm going to give a little demonstration on the family tree. So I'm going to go to search here. I'm going to click family tree. And just a little bit of information about Family Search's tree. Family Search has a family tree feature that is considerably different than paid websites. With Ancestry or MyHeritage, for example, you pay for a subscription, you build a tree, and you can either keep it private or you can share it and make it public so that other people can see it. Other people can take information from your tree. They can give suggestions, but the tree is yours to do with. No one can take away or add to your tree. Family Search, however, has a different tree. Theirs is what they call a world tree that is public for all members to add to or to take away from. So that's different, and that might take some people aback. But I want to talk a little bit about some of the positive features and why it's nice that it's a world tree that anyone can look at. So I'm going to look for one of my ancestors here. His name is Joel Moore. It's a common surname. So as with any time you're searching for an ancestor, you want to have as much specific information on them as possible. You don't want to go overboard because you might not get any results, but I'm going to start with just the fact I know where he was born. I know his birth year. So I'm going to search for, he was born in Surrey, North Carolina. So there's some different ways of searching in Family Search. So I've actually got it opposite here. Some areas of Family Search, you search first by country, then by state, then by county, and then township or town. In this area, of family search, it's actually narrow to broad. Other areas, it's broad to narrow. So I can fix that as I'm doing it. He was in Surrey, North Carolina. So here it is. And it's if you want a result that shows up, click on what they give you. So here's Surrey, North Carolina in family search. And then I know his birth date is 1775. So I click, and here he is. This record here shows up second, but it is a more complete record than these two, which are more than likely the same person. I mentioned briefly at the beginning of the talk that there are over 1 billion people in Family Search's family tree. Well, there are over 1 billion people. 300 million of them are distinct, and then about 800 million of them are duplicates. This might sound kind of crazy. It sounds like a lot, but remember what I said was that in the beginning is that family search has been around since 1894. So that's a lot of genealogy contributions over 125 years. So understand that with any sort of genealogical work, duplicates are kind of the nature of the beast. You have duplicates in records all over the place. But do it with a little bit of critical thinking. You can kind of winnow out duplicates, and there's actually something that you can do about it. You can actually merge records. I won't get into that today. It's a little bit more advanced. If you decide to become a little bit of a contributor to Family Search, you can do that with your ancestors. But I'm going to go and just quickly evaluate these records. And so this one here, it's pretty easy to see right off. One, it's a much more robust record. When I click on the tree, I'm going to have a big tree. I have specific birth and death dates tied to geographic locations. I have sources. I have 13 sources. If I click on that, I've been to this sources before and know that they are reliable records. There's even memories attached. There's a will on there. There's also some interesting memorabilia on there about this ancestor. But also, if I go to these records down here, they don't have any specific information. They don't have even his death date. And if I go onto the tree, there's nobody attached. It's just an empty record. I get the same thing with this other record up above. So, like I said, there's something you can do about it. You can work to merge the records, but it's also just good to evaluate source material and to, understand that this is the nature of genealogical research and how to work around it, work through it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on his tree. And here I am. I'm in portrait mode, which puts Joel here and his wife there, and all of their children are underneath, and all of his parents and grandparents and his wife's parents and grandparents, who are not identified, are on there. And there's another view that you can see, really traditional views for genealogy family trees. You can go under landscape, and that inverts the descendancy and kind of stacks everybody on top of each other. And as is common, somebody that was born in 1775 and lived a long life, he has a ton of children. And in the landscape and portrait mode, you see not only the children, you see their spouses. This is something in Family Search. If you see an exclamation point, that means that there are errors, there are inconsistencies. And again, if you become a content contributor to Family Search, you can work on those. You can work through those as a sort of genealogical problem. And I'm going to show you one more tree view here. And this tree view is honestly pretty distinct to Family Search. This is what is called the fan chart. And I really like this feature. It gives you a color coding, and it gives you a really compact. Compared to those other two views that I gave you, this view is really compact. So you got Joel here in the center, he's in the circle, and then you have his wife, Mary, and their descendancy, their children underneath. It's truncated, so like before when you saw like 10 children and all their spouses, that was hard to kind of see all of that. It was hard to even see Joel's parents and grandparents with that portrait and landscape view. So it kind of truncates it. You only see 5 of the children, but it's really easy. I can just scroll through here and see more of his children. This happens to be my ancestor. I'm a direct descendant of Joel or George Wilson Moore, one of Joel's children. And as you can see here, he's got 9 sources attached to him. If I clicked on the tree feature here, he would suddenly become the center of the circle and the tree would revolve around him. So it's a really nice quick view that you can go to there. And so everyone's color coded. And Joel's father is in blue. His mother is in this kind of red, orange. So different family, different areas of the family are color coded differently. So you get this quick view, 4 generations, but if you want to, you can go to 5, 6, and 7 generations. And you can also view the tree in different ways. So you can look for certain record types, or you can search for birth country, which will give you a quick view. You can't see it very well. My share screen is kind of covering this up a little bit, but this gives you country that the person was born in, which is really, really handy when you're doing kind of a quick view genealogical research. You can go back and you can skip back. I happen to already know that Joel's family goes way back in England. And this tells you that, Joel and his children were born in the United States. His parents were born in the colonial America. It's kind of not correct because 1775, it was still the colonies. And then Mary Page is listed as being born in the United States, although she was born in 1710. Hey, it's not perfect, but this is a good overview. It gives you a good idea of what generations, where they lived, when they came over. And you can look in their sources to see specific records. Like you might even be able to find like the shipping manifest where these folks came over from the United Kingdom. You've got some ancestors back here that were from Scotland. So yeah, and then there's England. So a really nice overview in this this visual. So then there's also sources. You can get a really good quick view of how many sources are attached to a specific ancestor. So that's all I'm going to show you for right now on the family tree. Next, I'm going to go to the family search catalog. Now with the catalog, there's some different ways that you can search. You can search in a traditional manner where you search for a descendant like I just showed you with the tree. You can search for a specific title, you can search for a specific author, even subject and keywords. However, I'm going to search for a specific place. And I think that's one of the most effective ways of getting started, or kind of if you're trying to break through a brick wall, getting a broader search can be really useful. So I'm going to search for Whitley County, Indiana, which is where the ancestor that I showed you ended up for a good deal of his life, George Wilson, my direct descendant. So again, here we go. It inverts it from where I was at before, where I talked about going from broad to narrow. So in this part, it's United States, Indiana, Whitley County. I could go even more specific. This ancestor lived in South Whitley, but I'd only get 2 results. If I went by his entire county, I'd get a lot more results. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to show you, give you a demonstration of a couple of different records. And before I go into that, I just want to mention that there are over 500 family search affiliates around the world today that digitize records. Here in Howard County, Indiana, the Kokomo-Howard Library in downtown Kokomo is our affiliate. Affiliates store microfilm and they help to digitize records, but not everything in the catalog has been digitized. Not by a long shot. There's so much out there. But if you visit an affiliate or contact them, they can help you. Sometimes you have to contact the Mormon church directly in what they call their temples. But I'm not going to get into that today. Just understand that there are a lot of ways to access records in Family Search, and they have so many records. But anyway, I just want to give a quick demonstration of how to search for two types of records and catalogs. One that is digitized and one that is not, and kind of how I go about that. So anyway, here I am in Whitley County, Indiana, and these are biographical indexes. Here's an example of a record that is digitized. So this is Whitley County Index of Names of Persons and of Firms. Anybody that's done county level research, this is a common record book. It's a record type. It's an index, and it's very valuable if you're getting down to the county level. It will give you, if you look up an ancestor's surname, or if you just want to look under just a surname, you will find a person that has been indexed in multiple genealogical biographical books. Maybe some of these indexes will include estate records. So who has an estate record? So this is a great record type to do research on, and it's a 93 pages. I've got the magical red. So in Family Search, if something's digitized, you get this under notes to view a digital item. Click here. So it's digitized. I can click on this record, and I get a little bit of overview. It's catalog information, basically. It was digitized in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and who are Allen County Public Library is a Family Search affiliate. You can view all 95 pages here, and you can kind of leaf through the book just like a real book in front of you, and you'll get an index right away of names and business entities. You can also do a search. Down here, you can search, you can key in a word, a search term, or a name. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that really quick. And then I want to show you an example of another record type. This record type has not been digitized. And again, we get a catalog record. This is indexed to Whitley County Biographies, Memorial Record of Northeastern Indiana, published in 1896. They haven't gotten to it yet, but there's this record here. And view this catalog record in WorldCat for other possible locations. So this is going to take me to WorldCat. I'm going to jump into another database. And just a really quick overview, WorldCat is an OCLC product. OCLC is based out of Dublin, Ohio, and they're one of the largest maker of discovery tools for libraries in the world. And so WorldCat's pretty awesome because it's free to use, and it's really useful because it will tell you a number of libraries that you can find an item in. Free to use, whether you have an account or not, you should be able to use WorldCat. So anyway, I jump onto WorldCat, and here we go. Here's this book. It hasn't been digitized, but look, it's going to use my current location, which happens to be the location of the Kokomo-Howard Public Library, 220 North Union Street. And here is only 35 miles away. Here's the Anderson Public Library. There's also ACPL, Fort Wayne. So I can click on Anderson Public Library. I'm not going to do that right now, but if I clicked on this, I'd get information about Anderson Public Library. I'd get linked directly to their website. And from there, I could probably just search. And I could ask a librarian a question, and I could be like, hey, do you have a copy of this book? It says that you have it in your records. More than likely, it's going to be in the genealogy department where you won't be able to check it out. But there is that capability just through clicking a few links. You're suddenly there. You know that you can access the record. A librarian might even be able to scan a few pages, or you can drive over there and look at it yourself. So I'm going to go back now, and I gave a demonstration on the catalog. Last but not least, here's the research wiki. So I go down here to research wiki, and I just wanted to give a little brief demonstration or explanation. The Research Wiki is probably the most important feature to family search that is a different kind of way to do research. It's misunderstood as a result. So the reason that it's a different type of record or a different type of searching is that rather than being searched by an ancestor's name, the Research Wiki is searchable by geographic area or by research subject or a record type. Think of the wiki as something that will help you at the beginning of a search to formulate a research strategy, help you to learn more about a record type or geographic area, or it can also help you to re-examine your research path, kind of when you're at a little bit of a brick wall. So let me show you briefly how to search the wiki, and then I'll show you a specific research area and some specific research types that you can find in the Research Wiki. So up here, I've got several different ways that I can search the wiki. I can get up here and I can key in a specific area. I can also search up here. I could search for a specific area or a specific record type, or I can go on this really cool map, which I happen to love maps and I like clicking on maps. So I'll click up here. I'm going from a very broad to very narrow, very fast, which is really fun. In the age of the internet, we can do that. We can search from very broad to very narrow, very fast. So I'm going to click on North America, and I'm going to go to United States. Then I'm going to go to the state, which is Indiana. And now I'm in this. This is actually a wiki page. So I go directly to this page. I could have typed in Indiana, and then I would have found some like search results, and I could have clicked on that. But this will take me directly to Indiana. And here's Indiana. There's a lot of jurisdictions that are unique to Indiana, but then there are jurisdictions that are unique to the county. And here I'll show you Howard County, since we're living in Howard County. I'm here at the Howard County Public Library, and you get a little overview of a lot of information about Howard County. So this is great if you're doing research on a specific area. You need to kind of become an expert on that area, and you need to be an expert on the jurisdiction of their records. And you get a little bit of really basic information right off. You know when the county was formed, the parent counties that it was formed by. Bam, here's who the county was named after. Bam, here's a couple of key places to search for records: the courthouse, the health department. Bam, here are all of these different, the dates where the records were retained, where they were legally required to retain the records. Bam, here's where record losses occurred. Luckily, there were no fires or floods or tornadoes, at least no tornadoes that damaged the courthouse. Here is a really interesting record that I want to touch on, and I just found out about by doing research on this specific wiki page. Indiana historical boundary changes. I want to touch on that. There's a whole lot more that's just on this landing page, but I just want to show you an example of a record that I happened to find in Family Search, and I found in the Research Wiki. And I did not know about this record before. So this is a complete blow-by-blow, detailed record of every county in Indiana and the history of their boundary changes. And since I'm here in Howard County, I'm going to scroll down, and it's just a long list. I can't even search it I can't even do a keyword search or anything. I just have to scroll. But I scroll down here and I get to Howard County. Check it out. I had some other information that was provided with me above that I touched on about the parent counties that Howard County was formed from, when Howard County became a county. So Howard County was formed in the 15th of January, 1844, and it was created from the Adams New Purchase. It was part of Carroll, Cass, and Miami. It was our county here. Howard was originally called Richardville County, which was named by the Miami Indian chief Richardville. Chief Richardville owned a lot of land in Indiana. Anyway, don't need to get into that. But I just have this really detailed description. And if I have ancestors that were early settlers to Howard County, this is really, really, really useful to know, because there will be records that fall out of the jurisdiction of Howard County, or that might have been called Richardville County, and you might be scratching your head wondering, where is Richardville County? That was Howard County. Anyway, I'm going to give a really, really brief demonstration of one of my ancestors that I was just searching for. The one that I was searching for was Joel Moore, born in 1775 in Wayne County. And I'm already in this big document, so might as well look for some more of my Indiana relatives and where they were at relative to the creation of their county. And I happen to live, my ancestor happened to live in Wayne County, which was part of the Northwest Territory. I didn't know that. I knew that, Vincennes was like the capital of the Northwest Territory, but I'm not going to get into the Northwest Territory, but it comprised several different, what we had now are states. But my ancestor was a pioneer settler of Indiana. He came in 1809. So using this record with my genealogy, it really helps me to pin down some specific dates. My ancestor actually came before Indiana was even a territory. Before Indiana, when Indiana was just still part of the Northwest Territory, and before Indiana was even a state. So it's kind of interesting to look at these records and to kind of go from broad to narrow, and then to delve into the record and see how it actually affects you in your genealogy research. So I just wanted to jump into that just briefly. And now I'm going to go back to Family Search and go back to the landing page. And I just really, really hope that this has helped you to get a little bit better understanding of how to use Family Search for your research. And if you have any other questions, please come into the Howard County Public Library here in Kokomo and go downstairs and talk to the genealogy staff, and they will help you. Thank you and have a great day.